Okay.
Yo. $100-meter dash, fam. No Condom podcast, fam. Man's not hot, fam.
You know hot? Cold?
Man stand next to sun and sun will be hot, not man.
You cool on the sun?
Never hot.
What would you put on the sun though? If you're standing next to it?
I keep my jacket on. Never hot.
I keep my jacket on. Right beside the sun, you keep your jacket on.
The sun will be hot, not me. Man's not hot.
But I'm saying, like, would the sun freeze next to you?
No, it'd just be hot.
Are you cold as ice?
Nope. I'm just not hot.
You're just not hot?
Nope. Never hot.
You lukewarm?
Medium temperature.
Just comfortable?
Just always comfortable, fam.
Okay.
Shack's not hot either. Not big shack, but real shack.
You saying real shack ain't hot?
Not when you ate that Dorito.
You're right. He couldn't handle the heat.
Man's not hot. If he can't handle a hot Dorito, I don't think he should really be dissing Big Shack. Like, maybe Big Shack is a little bigger.
Right?
He doesn't get hot. He leaves his jacket on. He's at a medium temperature beside the sun, and the sun gets hot. He's got the sauce. I don't know, man. What does Shaq have? A bunch of bricks for free throws?
Right.
A wax sneaker?
Did he ever do a sneaker?
Oh yeah, it's whack.
That's why I don't know about it.
Yeah.
But Kobe's sneakers are whack too.
But you know what? Shaq made a lot of money off his sneaker though.
I remember the KFC basketballs with the handprint.
Oh yeah, the Shaq handprint?
Yeah.
Those are classic.
I remember those.
See, Mans was hot then.
Yeah, he was hot then.
He's not hot now.
You cooled off?
And I feel like I've seen Shaq wear, you know, t-shirts and stuff.
So is he lukewarm or is he cold as ice?
You'd have to ask him.
Okay.
He can't handle the hot chips. Man's not hot.
But
Close the window.
if he was cold as ice, then he might be able to handle those chips. Because then, like, his coolness would bring down the heat from those chips, right?
I suppose I get what you're trying to say here.
But
But let's just face it.
Man's not hot.
Man's not hot. Right? Right. Understood.
Understood. Okay. Yeah, what's with these women starting to act like men and men starting to act like women? Like, it's like fucked up nowadays, like this generation.
Well, I see a lot of men acting like women, but I don't know if I see as many women acting like men. How do you mean that?
Kind of like the mentality of like,
Like that they can sleep around and like shit like that.
yeah, it's like like when girls used to do that like back in the day, like it was like all the other girls looked at her like, oh,
Like a hoe.
like a hoe. Now there's so many hoes, like it's like
normal.
they're looking at the good girls like, yo, like you're boring, fam.
Yeah, step your hoe game up.
Step your whole game up, like. But back like 10 years ago, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, I agree.
And like
I agree. Well,
and it's almost like, yeah, like
I
girls.
don't know. I knew a lot of hoes when I was in high school. But yeah, they're. Do you know what it is?
There's always been lots of hoes, but like it's just more now.
Yeah, I think like hoe culture has been like.
Hoe culture has been put in the forefront, and I think
it's like cool to be a hoe now.
and like I think like even with the music has changed like a lot too. Like it's more accepted in the music. Like now, like more people are more. It's cool to be a fiend now. Like when like back in the day, it was cool to be a drug dealer, and now like I think like that culture has kind of helped the hoe culture, like.
And help the men who act like women culture too.
Exactly, right? Because like a lot of these like because like way back in the day, it was the man that made the money, the woman to stay home and do everything.
Yeah.
And nowadays there's a lot of people in relationships where the woman is out making the money
And the guy's staying at home.
and the guy's staying at home, not doing anything, just sitting there playing video games and.
Yeah, and that's a laziness thing. Like that's like.
Yeah. But it's like not even like they're not even like cooking the meals. Like they're not even doing what the women were doing back in the day. Like the women are going out to work and then coming home and cooking the meal too.
Yeah.
It's like the women have to do everything, and like for these fuckboys that don't want to do anything for themselves.
Well, that's another thing too. As much as like being a hoe is more glamorized now, I feel like being a fuckboy is too. Like
Yeah.
girls like fuckboys for some reason.
Exactly.
And I don't know if that what. I mean, I don't know what it is. Exactly. I don't even know how to properly define a fuckboy 100%, but I got like the bare minimums of
Right, like
understanding it.
And even like I remember like one time like I said like I was being like a waste man, and you're like, yo, you're the first female waste man. But I think like there's things like waist moves, and if you do a certain amount of waist moves,
You become a waste man.
Waist man. And I think I don't think I've ever become a full waist man, but like at certain points in my life, like I kind of like started fucking up and started doing some shit, and I was pulling some waist moves.
I'll put some waist moves.
And like a waist man and a fuckboy is pretty much the same thing, right? So
Yeah.
like these guys are like constantly, they're waking up making waist moves. The first thing they do is a waist move.
Yeah, every day.
Every day.
Till the moment they go back to bed.
Right? Like, bet you like every time they just move their shoulder,
That's a waste move.
Like they're just wasting away.
They might as well just get paid by the city to do garbage because
Right?
they're already moving waste every step they take.
But even think about that's making them less of a waste man because they're actually going out and doing things.
That's true. That's true.
So maybe we shouldn't call them waste man because like waste man aren't actually what we think about as waste man. Like the waste man that are on the back of the trucks, like they're out there working.
Yeah, they're yeah.
So like maybe we need to change the term. Maybe we need to just get rid of that and say fuckboy. Cause like I respect somebody that gets on the back of the truck and does that shit all day. Like
yeah, it's work, man. It's work.
It's work, right?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
So
I respect that.
Yeah. So women, let's be women. Men, let's be men. Like, you know, let's
It's just you're at a point today like where I don't know. It's social media, internet, all that stuff. Like that's what's raising these kids now. You know what I mean? Like we grew up in an era where the television still raised us, but the television. There's like a certain guideline of like morals and standards and stuff that kind of instilled into you, right? And young people probably watch this and be like, oh, look at these guys stuck in their old ways of thinking. But at the end of the day, man, like nature is nature. And like men are produced as men and women are produced as women for a reason, you know what I mean? Like, and like that's gonna get on a whole nother topic, so we won't even go there.
Once people get out of their teens and their 20s, and they get into their 30s, they'll realize that like, maybe they'll realize. Some of them will, some of them won't. And
Yeah.
I think like the people that are living the waste, the fuck people lifestyle, a lot of them are gonna age like milk. And like I feel like the odd people that are actually trying to like do good in their life, they're gonna age like wine.
I could agree with that.
Cause like you just sit around and be a waste man all day and like fucking.
It's not healthy.
And like they're coming for the waste man right now.
Yeah.
Like fucking.
Waste man up the street just lost his life to being waste.
Yeah. So like the fucking sirens are on fucking. Or maybe they're just trying to like fucking chime in on the podcast, trying to like be like boom 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 boom.
Yeah, let us know their presence is here.
Yeah, and let them know we're killing it.
Yeah.
That might have been it too.
That's the fire alarms.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
I think more people are aging like milk, and less people are.
That has to do a lot with society too, man.
Aging like wine.
Because like think about, we're in such a consumerist society. You got such heavy pollution. You got all this stuff. Everybody's eating GMO foods now. There's like hardly anything fucking regular or organic. Everything's, you know, And this we're coming up on generations of it now. And I think the last step of like the self-destruction of mankind really was the internet. Like, because with the internet, you really enabled the last generation, a good portion of our generations, and all the future generations to come to A, not read, B, like kids like nowadays don't go, like, have you ever noticed that like playgrounds in the summer aren't half as populated as they used to be? No. Shit like that. Because kids are home playing on iPads and shit like that.
Yeah, like
video games.
Remember, like my parents be like, yo, go and play in the street. Like,
yeah, like you can play video games this evening. Go play. Go outside. You need sun. That's another thing. Vitamin D. People don't understand how important vitamin D is for you. Like, it's healthy to go out and get sun. You need it.
I like giving vitamin D.
But like, it's, I don't know. I think that's another thing. That goes to both things. Like, this goes to the fuckboy generation, and it also goes to people who, like, the difference in aging too. Like, people from our generation are aging worse than our parents did.
Yeah.
But that goes to a lot of different things, you know what I mean? Whether it be a girl letting 150 guys run through her by the time she hits 28, whether it be fucking your choice of substances you use. Like, back in the day, you had crackheads.
Yeah, like,
a crackhead is very distinguished. Nowadays, you have so many different kinds of addicts that aren't even distinguished. You got fentanyl users, you got perks.
And I even think like
perk fiends, Oxycontin. You got fucking people who drink cough syrup. You got, like, you know what I mean? Like,
they're even getting into the babies. Like, I noticed at work the other day, I deal with a lot of Pampers stuff, and the babies on the Pampers boxes, a lot of them look high as fuck. I don't know if like they're just drugging them up to like get good pictures on the Pampers things. The one baby, his pupils were like huge, like the whole size of the size. I was like, he looks like he's coked out.
They just injected him with some drugs so he'd fucking chill out while they take the pictures.
The other one like looked like he was
crying too much.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? We just started a conspiracy.
Right. Yeah.
Look at the box of Huggies and Pampers next time you buy diapers.
Right. Exactly.
Maybe we should start a change.com petition.
And like,
not competition, change.com petition.
And I find like gold diggers used to be a thing for like for hoes. I think girls are just hoeing to be hoeing nowadays. They're not even like,
yeah.
Some of them are gold digging, but like I don't think gold digging is as much of a thing as it once was. Because these girls are just like, they just want dick, like.
Well, you know what? It's like the rapper thing, man. Everybody raps now for popularity, not to actually rap for the art of rapping, like to be a good rapper, and not to like make even a career off of it.
And not even on their money and shit like that. When you see fuckboy with the red braids, Lil Yachty,
Lil Boat.
He didn't even know that if he was in a 360 deal or not.
Yeah, and like that's the thing with the rap game too, man. Fucking 360 deals.
Yeah, let's talk about 360 deals. Like, I got a good theory on them, but like, I'm gonna you start off. Like, what do you think about 360 deals?
Well, I think it's basically, I think 360 deals are even a thing right now because, like we were talking about, rap is a popularity contest right now. So dudes just want to have that next thing that they can gravitate to and be like, something to brag about basically. So I signed a deal. So when you read the contract, they're like, hey, fucking sign their life on a piece of paper. And now next thing you know, every single thing you do, the record label's taking a cut from.
Yeah.
It's like back in the days, like deals were, you hear about rappers 15 years ago complaining about deals.
Yeah.
But like, at least they got their touring money. They got their, like, you know what I mean? Like, there was things they did.
Outside the actual music, they could actually make their money otherwise.
And now that the music's not making enough money, the labels want to grab at everything, which is fucked up. It's like if you build a brand for 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, however long, you've built your own brand and then you go sign to a label, why the fuck are you going to let them take a percentage of everything you do? Especially when these labels aren't working half as hard as they used to. Like, You used to have A&Rs, you had artist development, you had, you know what I mean? Nowadays you don't get that. They just literally sign people. Like, if the Catch Me Outside girl, Bad Bobby or whatever she calls herself, can get a fucking multi-million-dollar deal with Atlantic, it goes to show what rap has turned to, you know what I mean? It's like the new disco. It's the...
Exactly.
It's a popularity contest, and that's exactly what it is. They're gonna sign people with likes and stuff because to them, that's as sad as it is to say in the world of the internet and memes, that is a brand. So they built a brand.
Yeah.
They didn't build it the authentic way by being a good artist and paying the dues, but they built a brand off some nonsense, and the labels gravitate to that. So even those people, those are the type of people who deserve to be in a 360 deal. But a good artist, you know what I mean, a real pure artist, fuck that, fam. It takes way too long for you to build yourself a brand by being an actual artist. To let these record labels come put their hands in your pockets. And they don't even do their job anymore. Like, back in the day, they used to at least give you funding. They used to at least, like, now you got like an advance when you sign to the label, and like that's it. They're not like tossing you money for your records, and because everyone can record in a fucking basement studio now, so they don't have to give you money for studio time. They don't have like, so the idea of the 360 deal is just absolutely bonkers to me, and the fact that people actually sign these things.
But like, here's how I see it. Like, I watched the thing with like Wreckords and Kevin Lyles talking about it.
Yeah.
And now for if your label ain't doing a bunch of things for you, then it's completely a bad deal. But like, what if like, okay, like they're setting up your deals with like other companies, like they're getting you brand endorsements. They're bringing these brand endorsements to you. They're going to try and get you movie deals. And they're working all the sides of like, and they're helping book your shows. They're setting up your tours. If they're doing everything that's involved with the 360 deal, if they're helping on every single aspect, then I kind of get the 360 deal. If a label is truly behind everything that you're trying to build.
But a lot of times, like, but if
they're not,
that's what your agent's for, and that's what your publicist is for, and that's what your fucking
well, the amount of people that are involved in artists now, like labels are kind of taking over that whole, like, you don't need all that, because like a label is going to like let's say like you tell them you want to start getting in some movies, they're gonna set you up with auditions. Like back in the day, like labels didn't care about like.
No, you need an agent.
You need an agent. Nowadays, like a proper label will do that.
Will they actually though? Like, will they actually?
Depending on the label and depending on if they're good and they're and they want to get the business done. Like I heard like like somebody like Wreckords that knows all that kind of like. All different things around, but then like, let's say like Atlantic, like, I don't know who's over there, but like, if they're signing 360 deals over there, I don't know if those guys are doing the same thing that like kind of like, the Kevin Lyles and like kind of like, I heard like Kevin Lyles say like, he's not only like the record label guy, he's also managing these people, like I heard him talk about back in the Def Jam days, like where like. He wasn't technically a manager of all these guys, but he did management stuff for them.
Yeah, I mean, if the label's actually doing that stuff and you don't have an agent, you don't have a manager, any of that stuff, and the label's actually doing that and doing diligence to their job on
then I agree.
Then I guess they get a cut because that's the cut you'd be giving to your manager,
right,
for setting that up for you or whatever. Yeah.
But if labels aren't doing that, then that's a horrible thing to be. Being in a 360 deal. Imagine you're in a 360 deal and the only thing the label's doing is like
distributing your record. Which nowadays isn't even really a big task because there's not even hard copies, so it's literally you can do that yourself through like CD Baby or something.
Exactly right. So as long as the label is working for you, I think a 360 deal can work. And like, just don't sign a life contract for it, because then like. If you sign it for a couple of years and the label works with you and all that stuff like that, after your brand has been built to a certain point, then you can go on your own.
Yeah.
Like and make your thing because you already have your brand. But to start out, get that initial. Maybe if you sign with the right label with 360.
The thing is, I just don't even.
Time.
Nowadays, everybody has a label too. Like every independent artist releases their music under their own quote-unquote label, and like I don't even see the brand of building a label anymore. Like when we were coming up, labels, like it was cool to have your own label. You know what I mean? Like every rapper had kind of their own label or their boys label. Like you had your Murder Incs, your Rough Riders, your Rockefellers, your Shady Wreckords. You had fucking even like every artist you knew basically was like under an umbrella of a different label. But they had their own label, you know what I mean? And even Scarface was on Def Jam South. It's like they literally opened a label for him to release fucking The Fix on.
Yeah.
And then nothing else really ever happened with it.
Ludacris.
Oh yeah, he was Def Jam South. Yeah, they had like a couple things, but like
Scarface signed Ludacris too.
To it?
Yeah.
Scarface signed Luda.
Yeah.
That was a good look.
Yeah.
They never collabed though, did they? Oh yeah, Scarface did the one DTP song. Or something. He was on one of their songs.
Okay.
I feel like.
I don't remember that, but yeah, Scarface and Luda are dope.
Those Scarface is ill, man. Those two would have made some dope music together if they would have worked together more.
Yeah,
I mean maybe they did.
Yeah, this might be considered a hot take to some, but I think Scarface is the best rapper out of the South.
I think Scarface is definitely he's my favorite Southern rapper.
Yeah. My favorite.
I don't know if I'd call him the best per se, but he's my favorite.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
Ludacris is ill, man. I don't think Ludacris gets the props he deserves because he did that transfer from rapping to acting, and then once a lot of people do that, they kind of
his music got affected. Like I found like he did that one album where he was kind of trying to almost be like boom bap, and it wasn't. I didn't really think that was him. It was Theater of the Mind or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Where like he was trying to go like a traditional hip hop way.
Yeah.
Which his original stuff was kind of like different from that. And I think like it was more of like I don't know what he was doing there, but like
I liked it.
I thought it was good, but it wasn't.
It wasn't Luda.
It wasn't Luda.
Yeah, because Luda's always been animated, and he's always been kind of on top.
He was very less animated on that album.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And the Primo track he did was kind of bland.
Yeah.
Like I still liked it. I'm the MVP. I'm stupid with this rap shit. But like the bars were kind of lazy on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, the whole project I felt like Luda could have came harder. But I liked the idea.
I just didn't feel like it was him.
I agree. I liked when he put that out though. Like I liked the direction he took, but I agree. Like it's not really his his thing.
So
but Luda gets slept on all in all. Like he's a dope MC. He's got good, amazing charisma on the mic. He's hilarious. Like you know what I mean. He's funny and he puts that through in his lyrics. And some of that early Ludacris stuff, man, like he had bars, like hip hop quotables and shit like that.
So we're talking about
that's an Eric Sermon beat. Hip hop quotables. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Southern artists, and Andre 3000.
Yeah.
Recently just said
Big Boy's better than him.
And we just said on I think it was episode 4 when we bigged up Big Boy. I think it was episode 4, and a lot of people give Andre the credit and say like Andre's one of the best out there, but
Big Boy doesn't ever get.
Big Boy doesn't get his credit, and for Andre to say Big Boy's the better rapper, a lot of people are like, whoa, like, but like, I don't think that's like too far fetched. It's not as far fetched as like what some people are like. Some people think it's blasphemy for them to say that, but like, I think maybe definitely there's songs where Andre 3000 does better.
Yeah.
But then there's probably some songs
there's songs where Big Boy does better.
Yeah.
Andre was just more poetic, you know what I mean? And like, when you're good at being poetic, people gravitate towards that. It's like, people misconstrued what I was saying about Nas and Nicki Minaj a couple podcasts ago. Okay. Where I was like, giving the impression that Nicki could maybe outbar Nas. And I said that Nas is one of those dudes you go to for poetry. Like, you don't really go to him for bars. Right. And that's true.
And even
like Nas can bar out, like don't get me wrong, but he's not the guy you go to like to just like be blown away like a Big L verse or a fucking what was some of the shit we were playing last night?
We were playing like some Cuban Link stuff. The verse on Nas has on the Cuban Link album, he bars out on that.
It's still poetic, I feel like.
But
I still feel like that's a poetic verse. I love that verse. But like, when I think of bars, I think of like Lloyd Banks in his prime. I think of like, you know what I mean? Like, just consistent bars, like stinger after stinger. Like,
yeah.
Like even like, if you want to like Jay-Z Threat, you know what I mean? Like that's a bar out song.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, just songs where you got like stingers, you know, and
I think back to the Outkast thing. I think
Andre doesn't really bar out. Big Boy
bars out.
Yeah.
Big Boy bars out.
Andre's poetic.
And what he said if we're gonna put somebody from Outkast in the battle,
I put Big Boy in.
I put Big Boy in a battle situation. I definitely agree with that.
I wouldn't disagree with that. No.
Yeah. And before we wrap up the Andre stuff, he said he wants to put out at least one more project.
Yeah, he said he feel like he would be doing a disservice to his fans if he didn't. Something like that.
And like I don't really care if it's solo Andre. If we get another Outkast project and that's the one we get, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, either way, like I think.
Either way,
I understand where his mindset's at, but I think that like Andre.
If we get a solo, that's awesome. But if we get a Outkast,
has he ever done a solo album aside from like the speaker box Love Below?
No.
Yeah, he never did anything solo, did he?
No.
Because even that
Big Boy has a couple now.
The Idlewild or whatever soundtrack that was
still Outkast.
Yeah.
Big Boy has a couple solos now.
I wonder why Andre never has. Like maybe he doesn't want to, because he's regarded so highly. You know what I mean? And like one thing I think that'll hurt like somebody like Drake in the long run will be his. He puts out too much music.
Yeah.
It's like the Lil Wayne effect. Like that's what eventually in the end ruined Lil Wayne. He had an amazing hot run.
And that's put Andre so high because if you look at the stuff that he's put out,
it's like what we said yesterday. Less is more sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's exactly it. Like some people want to keep their name in the, you know, like Drake's one of the guys who's trying to break records. You know what I mean? That kind of guy. Like the guy like he wants like a Madonna run. You know what I mean? Like a Michael Jackson run. He wants to be like the new Jay-Z. Basically, is what I've always seen. Is Drake is trying to follow the footsteps of. Has always been like a Jay-Z. That's where Andre just wants to be
but then, like, he also,
remembered as one of the best.
Yeah, he wants Drake's kind of like, and he has the pop stuff too. That's kind of like not really the Jay-Z route too. Yeah,
but Jay-Z's always had pop records. Like he just didn't sing and do that shit, but he always had some pop records on his shit. And that's why I think 444 was received so well, because it's been a while since Jay-Z just like put something out that didn't have a pop element to some degree.
Right.
But Jay-Z is good at the pop record too, like he still keep it Jay-Z when he does a pop record, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Except for maybe like In My Lifetime, there's like I Know What Girls Like, and like he's had a couple misses when he's done that shit, but
yeah.
All in all, yeah, I don't know. It'd be dope if Andre put some more stuff out.
So yeah, who do we think is like some of like the best female MCs?
Thank you. Oh man, these look good.
Oh man.
Oh man.
So you
best
think
female MCs?
Yeah. Like I think like Lauryn Hill is definitely.
Yeah.
What do you think of Lil' Kim? You know, like he was writing some of her early stuff.
When you go back and listen to Kim, I don't know, it's almost blasphemous to say, but she wasn't that great.
The hardcore album was pretty good. I liked it.
She's good.
I wouldn't say it's like an amazing album. Like some people call it a classic. I call it a good album.
Mm-hmm. Like
I wouldn't call it a classic, but I'd call it a good album. Hardcore.
Like I like Foxy.
Yeah.
I think Kim was better than Foxy. I don't know if Foxy writes her own shit or not. Kim obviously doesn't or hasn't But if Foxy writes her own shit, then I would have to say she's better than Kim, obviously. But, don't get me wrong, like, Kim is dope.
So, like, where do you rank Remy Ma? Do you like Remy Ma? I think Remy Ma is probably like one of
Best female MCs.
top 3 probably.
Yeah.
Especially like Any Up and like fucking Lean Back and
Lifestyle remix.
Just killing shit. And even like
Even the Nicki diss.
The Nicki diss was hard.
All the way up.
Yeah. Definitely. And like I'm actually kind of like excited to hear this new project. She's dropping soon. When I brought female MCs is because
her and Kim just did a joint.
Well, like a lot of, it looks like we're gonna get a lot of female MCs for first quarter for their albums because like Remy's gearing up to drop one. Cardi B.
Cardi B, when's hers drop? Next year?
Yeah.
First quarter?
First quarter. And then Nicki Minaj announced a tour for like the second quarter or whatever like that. But
so that means she's got an album coming.
Yeah, she's not gonna just go on tour for her old stuff.
No.
So I feel we're gonna get a new Nicki album soon. So it'd be kind of exciting to see the different feel like quite a few female MCs all at once. And like
how do you feel that's gonna affect sales? Like this hip hop? Is it because there's always been so few amount of females in hip hop that it always feels like there's only space for like one? Or do you think that's hip hop? Like the fans. Do you think there's really only space for one female, or do you think they'll all, or do you think it's the year of the female? Like, do you think maybe female MCs might become the next thing?
It might be. It is looking that way actually, and the same thing we were talking about earlier in the podcast. How like a lot of females are starting to act like men and things are changing around. Next year, you're right. Actually, it might be the turn of more female MCs.
Because we've been hearing dudes rap.
Yeah.
For what? 40 years now.
And like I think like Remy can like hold her own and like against dudes. I even think some people might think I'm crazy, but the All the Way Up remix with Jay-Z, I think Remy had the best verse on there. Remy went hard on that.
I think Hov had the best verse. But
okay, but I like the song overall. I think everybody went in. I think even Remy and Joe's verses were better than the original on that because they're probably like, oh, we're doing a track with Hov. Like, I think their verses were better on the remix than the original.
That being said, well, before I move on. Yeah, I think people might finally be starting to get bored of hearing guys rap. I think it might be the females' turn finally to like.
As far as like Cardi B, like a lot of people, Bodak Yellow went #1 and stuff like that. I wasn't really a big fan of that one. There was another like right before that. There was another one where I can't remember the name of the song, but she was all like dressed in like red in the one video, and she was rapping like hard. It wasn't like. I don't think it really did much, but like when I first started checking out Cardi B, I was like, oh shit, this song's hard. But then like Bodak Yellow came out, and I'm not really a big fan of that, but like I hope this.
It's one of those songs that got overkill, but actually I kind of fuck with Bodak Yellow. It's pretty dope actually.
But like I've heard her rap. I've heard her rap and stuff that I like. So I'm not just saying okay, I like Cardi. I'm just not a big fan of that song. But I hope I hear some of the other stuff that I heard previously when the album drops.
Yeah.
I hope it's not all just kind of like the Bodak Yellow kind of style. I hope she is.
Yeah, hopefully she keeps it fresh. Like, we don't want to hear an album full of Bodak Yellow wannabes.
Yeah. We
want a project, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when people have been waiting this long for it too now.
Yeah. So
one thing I was gonna say though is with remixes, talking about the Hov and All the Way Up and all that. I hate when people, I don't hate, but I really like when people do a remix and they do new verses on it. It's far too often you get a remix and it's basically just the original song with a new verse thrown on it by somebody else.
Yeah. I like when people do new verses as well.
I don't know if I like so much when they do a new beat, unless it's like the same sample but twisted differently. Like sometimes Cream will do that and like shit like that, but I don't like when they switch the beat completely for the remix. Unless it's like the same song, just a new beat type remix. You know what I mean? Like a producer remix.
Yeah.
But when it's like, when you got new verses and shit on it, I like it. You like keep the original beat.
Yeah.
Or the same sample.
Similar to that beat, like have some of the same. Yeah, I agree with that. And talking about remixes, I even tweeted Fab. He has the Flip Mode song, which I like. I'm not sure if you've heard it yet.
I haven't heard that yet.
There's a video up for it. I think it's dope. And it's like Busta, and like he's saying that, and like so it's very set up for Busta Rhymes remix.
Busta needs to get on that remix.
And like,
because Busta's the king of the remix himself.
I was just about to say like I'm trying to think about it. Busta might be the best remix guy.
Like, Puff Daddy might claim that they invented the remix, but Busta Rhymes sure fucking from Flavor in Your Ear took that format and made it his own.
So who do we got like top people that do remixes? So we got Busta Rhymes.
Busta's always got dope remixes for his joints. I mean, even with Touch It, how many remixes did he do?
Yeah. And
like all these different versions.
Hemming on other people's remixes and stuff like that.
Yeah. The Don't Touch Me. Don't touch me, you might burn yourself.
Oh yeah.
You got a hot in this bit, a little water on him. Here we go. Yeah, like everyone on that Big Daddy K.
So like.
Yeah, I'm sick with it, but I'm not contagious. Nas was on that.
I can't.
Game was on that.
I can't think of anybody that kind of like comes up to like a Puffy or a Buster. Like I think Buster is above Puffy on the remix king thing, but like if Buster's there, is Puffy number 2?
Puffy, because whether it's a Puffy song or a Bad Boy song or someone else's song, like Welcome to Atlanta remix or like Puffy.
Yeah. That's a dope remix. I like that.
That's a good remix. Like
Snoop killed that.
Yeah.
I think Snoop.
They all killed him, and Murphy Lee killed that.
Yeah.
I was like the water boy, now they're saying you can do it. I'm Baby Huey, one of the best in the Louis. Smoke Louis, dressed in Louis. Oh man.
Yeah, that song is fun.
But yeah, like Puffy's well known for the remix, and I mean even Busta like blew up from. Well, I mean, you had Scenario, but the Flavor in Your Ear remix.
Jermaine Dupri did quite a few remixes.
Yeah, if you wanna.
He might be number 3.
I'm trying to think, like.
I don't know, like I think like that's like a good like Busta. I think Puffy's above Jermaine Dupri as far as the remix.
I'm surprised Jay-Z hasn't. Jay-Z hops on a lot of remixes, but doesn't ever remix his own songs. Right. You ever notice that?
You ever hear the Hell Yeah remix on Dead Prez?
Jay-Z's on it, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kills that shit, like,
Jay-Z fucking... He's always... Because Jay-Z's the type of dude that hits you up and he's like, yo, I like your track, let me do a verse for it, for a remix. And people be like, alright.
I never really thought of Jay-Z as a remix guy, but like, he does hop on other people's, but he doesn't do his own.
No. That's the thing, like, he never remixes his own songs, though. Like,
so where do we put Jay-Z? Do we put him in the remix? Is he above,
I'm trying to think, like, all the joints, like, he's been on some hard remixes.
So, I might correct myself and put him maybe above Jermaine Dupri, as far as the remix.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really think about it because he doesn't remix his own, but yeah.
I wonder why that is, though. Like, everybody else lets Jay-Z get on their song, but why doesn't Jay-Z let nobody get on his song?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I can't think of a Jay-Z song that has a remix now. There's Can't Knock the Hustle, and there's a remix. That was his first album.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's a remix or it's a part 2. But they're both Jay-Z songs. It's not like he like put other dudes on it.
Part 1, part 2 of Dead Prez.
Like Jay-Z's been on remixes since day one, like Holla Holla Ja Rule. My Mind Right remix, the Meth Leak, that track's hard. That's harder than the original.
The
The Juvenile, yeah.
Juvenile, yeah.
Fucking everything up to like Rick Ross hustling, the fucking even all the way up this year, like Jay-Z, and that's like kind of like the Drake thing too. Like Drake will hop on.
So are we looking at that as our top 3 remix guys? Busta, Puff, and Jay.
Yeah, it might be. I'm trying to think of who else does a lot of remixes. Like, I mean, back in the day, everybody did remixes, but they're like producer remixes or like extended mixes or like the producer in the group, when you actually had a group producer, would like remix the beat or something. But as far as like actual like posse remixes, like getting new dudes on the song and making something fresh, like I'm trying to think, man, who else really like you Busta, Puffy, and Jay-Z for being the feature on remixes. They're like the 3 biggest I can think of. Like they do the heaviest amounts of remixes. Either way, Fabulous definitely should get Busta. He's like I almost feel like that song was made in mind for Busta to holler at him and be like, "Yo, Duke, you know you gotta get me on the remix for that."
Right.
So
Fab probably seen my tweet and he was probably like, "Fuck, this guy's trying to fucking let the cat out of the bag." Like he knows. I'm like.
And either way, speaking of Busta, salute to Busta. He just did a joint with Tory Lanez, Toronto artist.
Yeah.
Holding it down. I don't know what you thought of the song. I thought it was alright.
I feel it was alright.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. It
wasn't
bad.
No, like I seen people like, this is the worst shit Busta ever did. I'm like, nah, man. He's done way whacker songs than this.
Yeah.
Like he's had some points in his career where he was trying to get that mainstream success and like stay, which this song is one of those songs that kind of trying to stay current, but Busta does a good job at staying current. And plus, Busta's been doing the patois thing for years. Yeah. So like it was just kind of a good but it suited Busta, and I love when Busta does his patois shit.
For sure.
I mean, like, let it go, girlfriend. It wasn't like the dopest song, but I can't lie. Like I got it on the computer. I was like, I play it back sometimes.
It wasn't great, but it was pretty good.
Like I'll jam to it.
I'd say it's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's where I rank that song.
Yeah. But salute to Busta for working with Tory Lanez. You know what I mean? I like to see I like to see people fuck with Tory, man. I've been championing Tory for like a good probably 3 years now.
Nice. So let's get into Everyday Struggle versus the Joe Budden podcast. Which one do we think is better?
Man, I started with the Joe Budden podcast, as I'm sure you did.
No, actually, I was late on it, and like I kind of got into it like
after Everyday Struggle.
Yeah.
Nah, I was doing the Budden podcast. I'm pretty sure I've been peeping Budden's podcast since before they even had video for it. I think in the very beginning it was just audio, like ours, if I remember correctly. But I've been peeping the Budden podcast pretty much since the Drake beef. I think that might have been where I heard about his podcast.
Okay.
When he first went off on Drake, because he did it on his podcast. And I think that made me go back and listen to what he said or something, and then next thing you know, it's just one of those YouTube things. You see one thing, you watch another, you see this, and then next thing you know, I was watching it. And and then that was the time too where you had a few different podcasts coming out and kind of competing. Like Taxstone had his podcast. There was like a void in the podcast world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Vlad has his pocket, and he has his pocket. He's not competing with podcasts because he does direct interviews. It's not, you know what I mean? So like there was like, I feel like a vacuum there that needed to be filled. Well, because like him or like the Breakfast Club, right? Like even though they're a radio show, it's not a podcast, so they have their own pocket. Like they're two things that whether like
similar type shows though, it's like the same content talking about, but it's like it's different.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So I feel like there was a vacuum where a podcast like that type of show is needed, you know what I mean? And Drink Champs came, the Budden podcast came, Taxstone came. Unfortunately, Taxstone went away, but you had all these kind of people.
I like the Taxstone podcast.
I like Taxstone, but to be honest, I wasn't huge on this podcast. Like
I didn't really check out a lot of it, but like the ones I did watch, I was like, okay, I like this.
Like they would just. Like when he had like Uncle Murda and stuff on the show, like they literally were just like sitting there like smoking weed and like laughing at shit for like 2 hours, and like he couldn't even like, and he didn't really videotape his podcast either, so it was all audio, And sometimes you're just like, what am I even listening to? You know what I mean? Like, I'm lost. Like, I don't know what. Like, they've been like laughing for 20 minutes
it's
and I
definitely
didn't
better to
catch
watch
the
a video.
joke.
It's definitely better. Like you catch more in the video. You see how the people.
But I mean,
react.
podcast. He did do some good shit too. But like, even like people really championed his Meek Mill interview and his Beanie Siegel interview, and like they were good interviews because like he got information out of them at a crucial point. You know what I mean? Like Beans and like at the time he did the interview and what he talked about, and same with Meek. The time he got the interview, he was like the only one to interview Meek since like the whole Drake thing.
Yeah.
So he did good interviews, but I feel like the interviews themselves weren't conducted the greatest. Because it's like two street dudes just like talking shit, you know what I mean? And shooting the shit. It's not like so much, like he's kind of like Nori, you know what I mean? Like Nori gets great content out of people, but Nori's not a very good interviewer.
I see what you're talking about there, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Drink Champs are just great because they sit there and get drunk and everybody wants to prove their streetness to Nori. So like people go
not like interviewers like
stories.
They're not interviewers like Andrew Martinez or Sway or...
No, or even like a Vlad or like a fucking, you know. I don't even know if Charlamagne's the best interviewer. He's good at trolling people while the other two interview.
I think he's a good one. I think he's a good interviewer. I rank him high on interviewing.
But like, when you think about it, like, no, he does have good questions.
I like Ebro too.
Yeah, a lot of people hate on Ebro. But
I like Ebro.
He's pretty good.
I think Ebro's dope. Actually, like, as far as...
I don't know how I feel about Flex.
Flex, yeah. His interviewing, I don't really like it.
He talks too much and and like just barks in there too much.
So yeah, let's get back on to so you were saying, do you like Everyday Struggle better than the Joe Budden podcast?
Yeah.
See, I'm the opposite. I like the Joe Budden podcast better than Everyday Struggle. I find like topic wise, they do better topics on the podcast.
That I would agree with. Yeah. Like, they talk about the same shit a lot on Everyday Struggle. Yeah. And I like the contrast, the debate. Like, Nadeska's there just to, like, basically be a mediator. And then,
but as far as, like...
Academics and Budden always are bumping heads. And it's always devil's advocate. As to where, like, Joe Budden podcasts, a lot of times they'll just be, like, clowning on Maul or Rory or fucking... That's
the shit that I really like.
I like that, too.
Like, sometimes, like, in some of the podcasts, like, I'll, like...
but they agree too much.
I'll like Maul or Rory better than Budden sometimes.
Yeah.
Like sometimes sometimes Maul like he doesn't talk too much in the podcast. Like he kind of stays quiet for some parts. But when he does jump in, he's funny. He
says some funny shit, yeah.
And like Rory, like his quick wittiness, with just like the one-liners.
Yeah.
His one-liners, and I think Rory and Maul are better than Nadeska and DJ Academics as far as like to have on a show.
Like I can agree with that. Like I love the Budden podcast, but I just mean like all in all, I mean I have how much time a week to watch it, so it's hard to watch both. Like every episode of Everyday Struggle every day, and then Budden's podcast when it comes out. And actually have free time to do shit.
I haven't been watching the Everyday Struggle as much lately. Like I'll watch maybe once a week or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But then when the Budden podcast only comes out once a week.
Yeah.
So I usually watch that whole thing.
See, I like the Everyday Struggle just because it's always contrast. Like sometimes, you know, like you'll be watching the Budden podcast and they all have like similar views on shit. So it's not like I like when you get that devil's advocate.
But even when they do. Yeah, they even say that. Okay, like I'm gonna play
devil's advocate.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate and just play the other side of the fence and get a.
Do you know what else is pretty good? See, Brilliant Idiots is pretty good.
See, like they don't do a lot of video. Like
Charlamagne and Schultz, yeah, they do.
The ones I've popped up on, looked up, I've seen some videos.
They split up their. They didn't used to, but now like they split up their full podcast and do like. Little video clips, yeah.
Okay, like I'm gonna have to check that out though, because like I always thought it was just the audio for a long time. I've seen a couple. I think I've seen Academics on there. Lalisha. Yeah. So we agree to disagree. I think the Budden podcast is better. You think Everyday Struggle is better?
I don't even know if I think it's better. I just enjoy it more. Like I watch it more.
Okay.
I don't know, man. It's it's entertaining. You know what I mean? It's entertaining.
Well, they put out 5 episodes
a week,
and the Button podcast is only 1.
And so. Button goes off on there, like they'll be talking some shit about something, and Button like he gets heated, man. I love fucking Button, man. People hate on him.
But like I said, sometimes I like Rory and Maul better.
No, I agree. I love Rory and Maul. They're awesome.
Yeah,
they make the Button podcast.
For sure.
Like, it's just like Button makes Everyday Struggle, because like academics is like...
Yeah, maybe that's why, because like I'm not really too big on academics.
Neither am I, but like...
Some of the things, when he talks, I'm just like, eh.
Because he represents the new generation, that's where Button represents the old school.
Yeah.
So that's why it's awesome, because they clash, you know what I mean? They always have different...
Some of the classes are great. Some of the classes are great, especially when like you see like
but they fuck with each other, you know what I mean?
When academics is talking, and you see like they just have the camera on Joe, and he's just like...
It's so funny, man!
It's so serious. That kind of shit on every show is pretty fire.
See, that's why I love this show, because a lot of times it will have the split screen. It's like they're constantly versing each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like constantly. Like even when one dude's talking, it'll have the split screen, and you'll see a guy on the other half of the screen.
Yeah.
And like, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Man.
As far as that goes, like that's pretty dope.
Like I think it's more entertaining, just all around.
I like both shows. Like,
I do like both.
But yeah.
I think they have better conversations on Button podcast.
Yeah.
And more funny conversations, but there's just the way that Everyday Struggle's set up. I think it's the better show.
Like how they start clowning each other. Like they named the one episode Frockafella.
Oh yeah. and I love the drops too, like the where's Ja?
Homie Court.
Or the fucking Love and Hip Hop. What will who's the person? Mancini or...
Oh yeah. This was done in Love and Hip Hop history.
Yeah, and then there's like the one like, what will... Oh man, I can't remember. It's just like, the drops they pick are fucking hilarious sometimes though.
And they were using the one, Trey can give me 20 minutes of hits.
Yeah. So, I don't know, I like both shows a lot though.
And that being said, just watch out. I'm going to cut some stuff out of this. And you can probably cut some stuff out of this too. And like, we can clown each other if we catch each other on
Did you see the Charlemagne?
Oh,
donkey of the day for Envy?
That was funny.
The dildo?
Yeah, that was funny.
And the shit is, after that whole conversation, they didn't really get to the bottom of the whole dildo thing, like why he was accused of that to begin with. Like he's just like, I wouldn't believe my man that I'm with every day something, and then they like pull up the clips of Envy and they don't really talk about why he was accused of that to begin with.
But then like,
and then Ye pulls up his Charlemagne clips.
Oh man!
And he gets so upset by the end of it. He's like, "Why are you doing this? Why? Like,
why?
What the?
This isn't my donkey of the day. This is Envy's donkey of the day."
It was so funny.
Yeah.
It was just funny too because Charlemagne, you would think would be a person that would like could just take it in awesome humor, right? Like because like I dished it out whenever I deserve it, but he was actually like, "The fuck?" He was like. Yo! Like it's like he had this like whole masterminded thing like planned out and he was so pumped and then Ye just like behind his back was like, yo, get the Charlemagne clips, we're gonna troll him at the end of this. He just had no idea. He's like, what the fuck? That shit was hilarious.
So yo, what do we think about this Snoop Dogg cover?
Making America Crip Again?
Yeah.
It's like the Ice Cube cover.
Yeah.
But basically just with Trump laying there instead.
I even seen Snoop tweeted, he was like, this motherfucker. I'm not sure if it was Trump's people that did it, but there was a picture of like the same picture, but with Trump standing there, and the toe tags had Snoop. I seen.
Damn.
That's what Snoop tweeted. He was like, this motherfucker, and then like he had that picture, and I was like, that's crazy too. Like.
It honestly wouldn't surprise me because Trump is such a like.
He's a troll.
He's a troll and he's an imbecile. Like, he does not conduct himself
as a president, like
as any sort of a world leader. Like, he conducts himself like an idiot.
He might be like one of the second best trolls though. 50's the top troll.
Did you see his the Wendy Williams thing?
Yeah. And then clowning Tyrese now.
Oh, I didn't even see that yet.
Yeah, like,
50 just trolls everybody, man. Everyone. And you ever notice too when someone interviews somebody and they talk about 50, he always responds too.
He always responds.
Like he has no petty level. Like I'm pretty sure like Irv Gotti said some shit in the one interview he did with like Breakfast Club or something like recently.
Yeah.
And then like 50 within like a day or two responded.
Yeah.
Like he does not.
But then Irv Gotti on Everyday Struggle, and he was like, yo, 50 said he was gonna slap me 20 years ago, like, and he still hasn't done it, so like I don't believe him. that beef, you know, it comes from something real. Like it's still funny to this day. Like I think like just because like
it's just funny that no one's let go of that beef. Like that's one of those beefs that I honestly feel
that's gonna stay forever.
That will never get resolved.
I even seen that. I recently watched I just want to like Heather B does interviews.
Yeah.
And she had 50 on it, and she was trying to be like, so do you think you'll ever like patch it up with Irv and Ja? So he said, no. Straight up, no. Like, said it so convincingly, like, no.
50 has no petty game.
Yeah.
He's so funny, man. 50's awesome, man.
I wish
hip hop needs more 50 cents.
When he was on Drink Champs and Nori was trying to get him on that petty song.
Yeah.
I wish he would have done it, like. Yeah. Nori and 50 talking about being petty, like.
Because 50 doesn't want to admit he's petty. He justifies his pettiness, which makes him actually more petty.
Yeah.
Like Nori would just straight up be like, I'm petty. But like 50's like, nah, you see, like I had to do this because like he always tries to explain and justify his pettiness, which actually makes him more petty.
Exactly.
So, oh man, that would have been hilarious. And then when he's trying to like when he accidentally admitted to eating booty, and then he like asked everybody in the room, it was eating booty, right?
Oh no,
or was it a finger in his ass or some shit?
One of the best things, no, like it was one of the best things when
and then he tries to get all the girls in the room.
Vivica A. Fox said something about 50 being gay on an interview.
Yeah.
And 50 responding, he's like, "What? She thinks I'm gay because I let her lick my ass?"
Yeah.
She thinks I'm gay because I let her lick my ass. Like, I was like, "Holy fuck, 50's being 50." Like.
And that's what he was trying to say, wasn't he? Wasn't he talking about letting a girl lick your ass or something?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, and he's like, I can't remember anyway. I think he was talking about licking his girl's ass. He's like, sometimes you might be drunk and like you accidentally like your man never accidentally done that, and all the girls are just like, nope. Like at the podcast, he's like, and you got like so cheesed by the end of it. He's like, man, I know that y'all lying.
You're lying.
Oh, 50's hilarious, man.
But back to this Snoop cover. I like the cover.
Yeah, I think it's a bold move. But even you notice how like we were talking about.
I even think it's like if you look at covers in hip hop, I think like the ones you remember. I think the Ice Cube one is the one like to remember. Like, if you look at different covers in hip hop.
Yeah.
That's definitely like one that stands out to.
Definitely.
That like when you see the covers, it's definitely a stand-up cover.
I would agree with that.
So I think it was dope. You kind of brought that back, and like in the time with him,
the climax of
saying the stuff about Trump, and kind of like it kind of fits, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely fits that.
And to go back what we were saying the other week on the podcast too about his level of celebrity. You know what I mean? Like Eminem does that freestyle.
Yeah.
Viral. Snoop does that cover. Not as viral.
Yeah.
And that's a bold cover.
Yeah.
Like that's a bold statement. Like that's saying more than what Eminem said in his whole freestyle.
Yeah.
You have Trump dead on your album cover. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's not like Snoop's like some young boy who's immature. Like Snoop is a grown ass man who's been acquitted of a murder charge.
Yeah. And like make America
crip again.
Even without the cover, just the title. It's kind of crazy, like.
Yeah.
And like we talked about on the other podcast when he said, this goes out to the kids and R&B singers. Don't be crip off.
You're gonna be a gangbang.
Yeah.
Like Snoop sometimes is like a little like people forget how like street and how like vulgar he kind of is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Snoop's kind of like, cause he's done.
I've been too. Yeah, what I like about like main thing I like about Snoop, and we are coming up close to the end of the podcast, but one thing I like about Snoop, he's always like whatever he wants to do, he just does it the way he wants to do it. Like he doesn't care if like he does some things and people think he's soft, or he does some things and like people think he's too hard. Like he just does what he wants to do. He'll do
records like Beautiful, and then he'll do records like Drop It Like It's Hot, and then he'll do records like fucking Bato.
And like I think as far as like ladies tracks in hip hop, I think Beautiful is probably like one of the top like songs dedicated to like ladies. And, like,
you think? I'm not a fan of Beautiful, to be honest. I never liked that record.
Even like sometimes when I'm out and like I see a girl, like the song just pops in my head.
I thought in the prime. I thought in the prime of early G-Unit, they did the best girl records. 50,
what was the one with
21 Questions, Lloyd Banks, Smile. Young Buck never did one, I don't think. Well, he did Shorty Wanna Ride With Me.
What was the one had Joe on Joe the Singer?
I Just Wanna Love You? Or I Just Wanna Fuck You?
I think it was that one.
I Wanna Get to Know You.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. I love that song. That song was.
And see, and that wasn't one of my favorites.
That's one of my favorites.
I feel like that's where they started to like it. That one was dope, but after that is when the lady records kind of started to not be so dope from them. But their first, like everybody's first run on lady records, there, like Banks is on the G-Unit album, 50s 21.
But like a reason why
the Game, Smile, like that round of like.
A reason why I wasn't really too big on 50 at one point is because like I was around like a lot of people like that weren't really into hip hop before a certain point. Look at Ja Rule as like completely whack, and like I'm a fan of Ja Rule.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Ja Rule too.
And
I think people shit way like, too hard on Ja Rule.
And like 50 like almost followed the same career pattern as Ja Rule, kind of like.
It called him corny his whole career.
Because like Ja's first record was more of a hard
street record, and then it went to the ladies. And
then on the second 51, he started with Candy Shop.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard Candy Shop, I was like, oh, he's doing the same pattern as what Ja Rule did.
And honestly,
and like he dissed Ja Rule for this.
And then followed. I know.
And it followed. So like I was kind of like
I thought he was super.
I wasn't really rocking with 50 at that point.
I wasn't either, to be honest. To be honest. I didn't even like the Massacre album until maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I went and actually bought it because at that point when it came out, I was so disappointed with the singles he put out for it that I didn't even go buy it. I don't think I've ever really actually gone back and like took that album. It's actually a good album. It's like 20 songs. You got the Out of Control remix, but aside from that, you got dope joints.
I like that one.
A Baltimore Love Thing. Baltimore Love Thing. Whole song is about like from being the perspective of heroin. He's got that inspired my Love Is the Drug song.
Okay.
He's got like, man, like there's some records on there. Ski Mask Way, fucking In My Hood.
Okay, check that out.
There's the one Buck Wild beat on there near the end of the album. I can't remember what it's called, but it's actually a good album. But the singles he chose made represent the album poorly.
Yeah.
Because people like 50 for being hard, and like I think he felt like he had to do girl records to like get on the radio and be huge, but really he needed to put something out for his core audience as well. And the difference is too, like In the Club was his big record off the first album that drew people in. On the second album, like, you should add another club record. Like, Out of Control should have been the first single with Mobb Deep, the remix.
Yeah.
Not fucking Candy Shop. You know what I mean? You could have done Candy Shop as like a third single. You know what I mean?
I actually didn't like that song.
I hated that song. I'm be completely honest. Yeah. Nothing about it. The beat, even like Dre and Scott Storch, I feel like fumbled on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, like 50, that song was horrible. Like,
yeah, I didn't like that song.
It's just whack.
But yeah, let's wrap this up. But we're not gonna wrap it up because it is the No Condom podcast. And give it to you raw. Fucking, yo, you ain't showing your dick. I'm showing my dick.